So, as a part of a circus act, a poodle is shot out of a cannon. It's a trick cannon. It's not going to explode the dog. The dog is not going to be injured in any way, so please don't worry. Anyway, the height of the dog is given by this function right here in feet after t seconds. So, the first thing to do, part A, find the height of the dog after 1 second. So that simply means substitute a 1 in for the t. So we've got negative 16 times 1 squared plus 32 times 1 plus 8. So that's going to be a 16 and then negative 16 times 1, a 32 and an 8. So we've got negative 16. I could combine the 32 and the 8 to make 40, and then it's simply 40 minus 16, which is 24. So in other words, after 1 second, the little cute poodle is 24 feet in the air. How long until it hits the ground? Well, when it hits the ground, what's the height? That means height equals 0. It's 0 feet off the ground. So for part B, put a 0 for h. And then either factor or use quadratic formula. Since I know quadratic formula works every time, I'm going to go ahead and use quadratic formula. But one thing I notice is that all of these numbers can be divided by 8. And that will reduce my work later on if I do that. So what I do is divide both sides, or all terms, by an 8. It's still going to equal 0. This will be negative 2 squared plus an 8 divides into a 32 4 times. And then the last one, 8 divided by 8, is 1. So now the quadratic formula. So t is equal to, so this is a, b, and c. Quadratic formula goes negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times the a times the c, all divided by 2 times the a. How much is all of that? Well, this is a 16. This, because it's negative times negative, is a positive 8. So a 16 and an 8 makes 24. Because this is a word problem, I would like to get the decimal answer. So we would need to use a little calculator for that. So the calculator knows that all of this is in the numerator. I'm putting this in parentheses to say that here's the numerator. Negative 4 plus the square root of 24. Then I need to close the parentheses for the square root and for the numerator. And then it's divided by negative 4. We get t equals a negative 0.225. Then do the same thing with this being subtraction, and we get the other answer, which is 2.225. Okay. Now, how long until the dog hits the ground? Well, this is negative time. This means go backwards in time, which is not possible, at least not with any of the inventions we have so far in this world. This means go 2.225 seconds and the dog will land on the ground or in the net, whatever it is. So this is going to be the answer to part B. Now for part C. Because this has t squared, it's a parabola. And because it's starting out with a negative, it's a parabola that looks like this. So this is actually useful because these are actually the x-intercepts, or t-intercepts. So negative 2.25, and then over here positive 2.225, and then it would look like this. So in reality, the poodle actually starts at 8 feet. So this number right here would be 8 feet. And then it goes up in the air and eventually gravity brings it back down after 2.225 seconds. Now, the maximum height is going to be right in the middle right here. This is called the vertex. And in order to find that, we need to find out what's in the middle of this number and this number. In order to do that, you average them. So it's going to be negative 0.225 plus 2.225, and then divide by 2. So to find the average of two numbers, or what's in the middle, add them up and divide by 2. So we've got a negative 0.225 plus 2.225. Add them together and then cut it in half. Oh wow, happens to be 1.0. Oh, and good thing is, we already plugged in the 1.0. That's actually the maximum height, the 24 feet. So for part C, 24 feet after 1 second.